Yes, Lizzie, today I'm going to meet three really important people and we're going to start with Elodie. Elodie is Li&elLangHu's granddaughter, Li&elLangHu, who was the leading figure of the Harlem Renaissance. Hi, Elodie.
Hi.
So, Elodie, why do we still talk about your grandfather, Li&elLangHu, 50 years after his death?
Well, my grandfather was the leading voice of the Harlem Renaissance. He was a poet, a playwright, a novelist, and I think he has remained famous because he spoke to, for, and about Black people in America.
And why was it so special?
At that time, Black consciousness was becoming more and more publicized, and my grandfather was one of the earliest figures to show the dignity of ordinary Black life. He was the voice of a new generation of authors that describe themselves as the Black Negro. They wanted to experiment new topics, new poetic forms, and they sought a broader audience, and that's why I think my grandfather wrote to everyday people and not only to the elite, even though he went to Columbia University.
And can you tell us about some of his works?
His first and most famous poem is called The Negro Speaks of Rivers. It was published in a popular Black magazine, so it was widely read from the beginning. He was actually one of the most published authors of that time. One of his poems, The Weary Blues, won first prize of Opportunity magazine literary competition, what allowed him to attend university. Then in 1929 he wrote his first novel, Not Without Laughter, and his book was commercially successful, was what allowed him to make a living out of his writing, which was really rare at that time. And then at the age of 28 he wrote his first autobiography, The Big Sea.
And what do you think were his main influences?
Both Carl Sandburg and Walt Whitman, I think, influenced him, because one of my grandfather's teachers introduced him to these authors, and he began writing poetry around that time. So yes, their work was very important to him.
Would you say that music also influences his life?
Yes, totally. Because my grandfather, during his time at the university, my grandfather discovered nightlife in Harlem, and he spent hours in blues and jazz clubs, and that had a major influence on him. I think he integrated the vitality and the energy of that style of music into his work. And later in his life, he even collaborated with key music figures.
Talking about Duke Ellington, right?
Yes, among others.
According to you, what is his biggest legacy?
I think he tried to promote other authors in Harlem, and he really set up a new trend of authors that wrote about new topics and about African American themes.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Elodie. Thanks to you, I think that we understand the importance of your grandfather, Li&elLangHu, in the Harlem Renaissance period. Thank you very much. Later, I will be conducting another interview with two other really important girls who are going to talk to us about the Beat Generation. Back to you, Lizzie.